Welcome back. Looks like the commissioner is ready.
With the first pick of the 2019 TV Studio Production Draft, the studio selects Haley Bradshaw,
She's a strong choice.
Hannah Campbell,
What a great pick.
Keelan Claiborne,
Oh, that's a nice one.
Sean Coleman,
He's been waiting for this.
Ava Cruchon,
She's a great addition.
Katie Gibbs,
Good pick.
Haley Kreml,
Solid choice.
Abby Peak,
Ooh, they'll go far with her.
Kendall Sowerby,
Can't go wrong with that one.
Mackenzie Van Zee,
Ooh, she'll be great.
Tristan Willis.
Big moment for him.
And that concludes the TV Studio Production Draft for 2019.
You're watching Studio 22.
Hi, welcome to Studio 22. I'm your host, Kendall Sowerby, and I'm here today with an incredible guest. Please welcome one of 3 drum majors from that band from Antlerland, the Deer Creek High School Antler Pride Marching Band, and my own brother, Kieran Sowerby. Kieran is currently a music education major at the University of Central Oklahoma. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Kieran.
Hi, thank you guys for having me. It's really an honor to be invited to be on this.
Yeah, of course. So first thing that I want to talk about, I know that you were a drum major with Deer Creek. What was your favorite experience with that?
So my favorite experience with being a drum major at Deer Creek is another reason why I enjoy doing music so much. It gives me an ability to serve in a capacity beyond myself. And it gives me a position in which I can serve other people in a leadership position. Got
you. So what are some examples of times where you served in that leadership capacity?
So some of the things that I would do for them is I would just make sure everybody's okay. I would show up early, stay late. I would go pretty much out of my way to make sure everybody's looked after. Sometimes I would take some of them home. So I would stay after, help them with if they have music or anything like that, drill, things like that. So it was just a way that I could show them that I'm not just sitting here on a mantle above by myself, just being there to toot my own horn, but I'm there for everybody all the time.
Got you. And so I know that there's 2 seasons of high school band. There's the marching season and then the concert season. Were you doing that all year round, no matter the season, or was it just one season versus the other?
So there's a lot of more responsibilities drum major has whenever it's in the marching season. So it was primarily during marching season, but also during the concert season as well. I always made sure that I was open to anybody who wanted to play something for me, ask me about something.
Okay.
For example, my friend Rohan, who was a freshman whenever I was drum major, he asked me about his coded music, solo ensemble music, and I made sure that I was always available for him. And so did a bunch of other people as well when it came closer to ensembles.
Got you. So would you say that that was part of the music, or was it part of the community for you?
It was kind of both, because at that point it was my 4th year in high school, so I had already had a bunch of background, so I kind of knew what I could say to them to help them be better at it, but also the community part, because band and music in general is just a really big community, and you guys are always there for each other. So it was kind of a mixture of the both at the same time.
Got you. So what would you say your favorite part was, music or the community?
It was really the community, because without the community part, you don't really have the music part. It's one thing for everybody to show up and play their parts and, all right, cool, let's go home. But the community part is what really makes it what it is, because then the music that you play means something to you guys. You guys are creating experiences with each other the entire time that you guys are performing together.
And would you say that the community aspect built your love for music to be where it is today, to where that's something that you want to pursue?
Yeah, it really did, because it showed me everybody's there for the same goal that you are. And even if you mess up on something, nobody's going to make fun of you. Nobody's going to judge you, because everybody's there is super supportive. And they're there for you 100% of the time. And even outside of music, whether at the time schoolwork or even now in my current program, everybody's always there for each other. There's a big sense of family. And for example, our band motto last year was passion to dedication, and then band family as well, and putting a large emphasis on the family part throughout the entire high school year.
So you mentioned that like you're in your current program. How has that transition been for you?
So the transition primarily for marching band, just because simply we're not on concert ensembles yet. For marching band, it was a lot different. I really felt like a freshman again because I went into that program knowing nobody, but very quickly it goes to show how much of the music education or just music people in general across the United States all have the same sense of community, and how immediately I was already being invited to go do things. People were talking to me. I was making friends very quickly in that program. So that just goes to show that community is something that's not just a part of my high school, but a part of my university, and I'm sure all music programs across the nation.
Got you. So if you had to pick one thing from your current program that you like love and would love to talk about, what would you say?
So my current program, the thing I would have to talk about is how everybody always gave their 100% the entire time. One nice thing about being in a college ensemble like that is everybody's already been doing it for a little bit, so you don't really have to teach anything. Everybody just shows up. We would do what we're supposed to do for that day, and we would typically get off early because of how we just did it really quickly. We all there, we're all in the zone, we're all focused, and we all just got it done very quickly.
You. And I love the sound of that. After the break, we will be taking another look at a couple more of Kieran's experiences. Stay with us.
Let's try that again. Keep Oklahoma beautiful. For more information, visit www.keepoklahomabeautiful.com.
Oklahoma isn't your room. So don't trash it.
This is my city. This is where I learn, play, work, eat. This is my city. This is my home.
Hi, and welcome back to Studio 22. I'm here with Kieran Sowerby, and we're going to talk more about his path in music ed. So, what kind of inspired you to take music ed to the next level? Like, I know you mentioned your band, but where did you really decide?
So it really was for me that whole sense of community, and the fact that the person who really instilled that was my director. So if I could go out into the world and also give other people the same experiences that I was given and the same chances that I was given, to also have an extended family like that and a community like that, then I want to do everything in my power to be able to do that. Also because music is something that's transformative. It's for everybody. No one single person can be singled out from music, no matter if people actually try to, but there's something for everybody. Whether it's they want to do an ensemble, whether they want to do like wind, so like flute, trumpet, trombone, all of those ones, whether they want to do strings, or whether they want to do vocal. Because if you're thinking about it or not, music is in everything you do. It's in the rhythm that you walk in. It's in the things, whatever you listen to on your way to your home, drive or work or school or something like that. It's in almost every aspect of life. So that's also why I wanted to do it. So that way I could also give other people the joy of realizing it and accepting it into their everyday life.
Got you. Okay, so like with music ed, is there any like specific thing that you want to focus on, like when you're teaching in the future?
So what I really want to focus on is going to be high school directing. So working with high schoolers, pretty much what I was describing with me being drum major, all those experiences that I was given, is I simply want to be able to give those experiences back to high schoolers as well across wherever I decide to end up. So that way they can all have the opportunity to experience music in what it is and to expand their horizons in such a way that only music can expand it.
What would you say like the best way music helps every day?
So music helps express emotions in everyday life, whether it's happiness, sadness, anger even. There's an emotion that there's not an emotion that can't be expressed by music. And if you feel like there isn't one, you simply haven't looked hard enough. And with music, it's something that you can explain bigger ideas with as well, which also goes back to the emotions. Because sometimes there's only some things that you can explain, but if you play music for somebody, they immediately understand exactly what's going on.
Do you think it's because there's like certain sounds that are associated with like feelings, like in the way that people are writing songs nowadays?
Yeah, there definitely is a sense of this is a sad song or this is a happy song whenever the artist creates that song. But it's all up to interpretation. Whoever's listening to that song, you may listen to a sad song and you may think it's a song about, you know, petting your dog or something like that. It's what the music makes you think of. And to another person, it may remind them of that one time that they slipped on ice skates and broke their arm. It's something that everybody can experience it differently and then share those experiences with other people.
I love that. I love the idea of that. So where do you see yourself going with music ed? Like, I know you mentioned high school, but is there any other like thing that you would do with it?
Yeah, so with music, you can really do anything with it. Typically with a music education degree, you could also perform. So maybe I could find myself performing in a few things like that, trying out for bigger ensembles, national ensembles. And then also, if it happens to work out like this, I could also do like middle school band or even elementary school music just to try and get that love of music in at a very early age. That way it just has that much more enrichment throughout the rest of their lives.
You know, that is incredible, and I love your drive for that. And we will continue with flute stuff after the break. Stay tuned.
No, 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 no!
Just what do you think you are doing, Dave? I really think I'm entitled to an answer to that question. I can see you're really upset about this. I know I've made some very poor decisions recently, but I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal. Dave, stop, will you? Will you stop, Dave?
My name is Eric.
I was looking for a way to help out with my community while also getting close with my gal pals.
I've been looking for an addition in my life that can make things more lively.
I wanted a companion to curl up with at night.
That's why we adopted these guys.
Research shows that women love cute little things. So what's wrong with you? Get a guy who's guaranteed to stay.
Oklahoma isn't your room. So don't trash it.
There are plenty of teams in every sport that have great players and never win titles. Most of the time, those players aren't willing to sacrifice for the greater good of the team. One thing I believe to the fullest is that if you think and achieve as a team, the individual accolades will take care of themselves. Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships.
I don't work a 9 to 5, but I have a job to do.
I don't wear a tie, but I still wear a suit in my court.
My field of work isn't average, and my time around the water cooler is limited.
I work overtime, but the payoff is worth it.
I don't work a 9 to 5, but I have a job to do. I'm an OCU athlete.
I'm an OCU athlete.
I'm an OCU athlete.
I'm an OCU athlete.
Hello there, folks. It looks like a beautiful day today at Oklahoma City University. On the north side, we have a 100% chance of support and hard work as the sports teams make some wins. And on the east side of campus, there's a front of beautiful music and performances coming in, so you can look forward to that. And on the south side near the quad, we're seeing a high chance of students relaxing and soaking up the sun. I'm seeing some hammocks too. And on the west side is getting a strong breeze of Z's. Students and dorms catching up on some sleep after some schoolwork. I'm Cameron Calloway. Enjoy the OCU weather.
No, 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 no! No!
Just what do you think you are doing, Dave? I really think I'm entitled to an answer to that question. I can see you're really upset about this. I know I've made some very poor decisions recently, but I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal. Dave, stop, will you? Will you stop, Dave?
My name is Eric.
Hi, welcome back to Studio 22. We are here with Kieran Sowerby, who is going to be performing for us. First, he's got Frosty the Snowman, and let's hear it. Much for performing that for us today, Kieran. And so tell me about those songs. Why did you pick them?
So I picked Frosty the Snowman for the first one because it's a really simple, just holiday tune. Everybody knows it. Just something, you know, short, sweet, a little happy, a little bubbly, a little bouncy. And then I contrasted it with White Christmas because White Christmas is another one of those classic ones that you can kind of sing along to as well. Also, I picked both of these because they're very recognizable and you can go and sing along with them. And I'm sure everybody has some sort of Christmas holiday with one of these two songs that they can think about maybe their childhood, if they're older, whenever these came out, or maybe watching Frosty the Snowman. And specifically for White Christmas, it's just another one of those classic ones. And it's just really, really long and drawn out. And it just really helps establish that mood of it's Christmas time, it's time for family, and it's just whatever you also make it to be.
Got you. So, of the two to play, like, which one is your favorite?
I like to play Frosty the Snowman a little bit more, simply because it's a lot more bubbly, it's a lot more bouncy. But I also really like White Christmas because you can drag and pull with these kinds of songs that are slower. And I also again like Frosty the Snowman more simply because I really loved watching the movie as a kid. And especially we watched this movie in music class when I was in elementary school. So it just really goes back to the beginnings of why I enjoy doing this and the beginnings of just all of my memories that can be brought up from music.
I love that. I love that, music is such a powerful, tie to memory for you. Is the Christmas holiday usually, tied to music with you?
Yes, for the most part, because wherever you go, there's always going to be Christmas music playing, whether it's on the radio, in the stores that you go to, the places that you visit. Somebody somewhere is singing these. And then even the second that Christmas tree goes up, people are already singing these, sometimes early as Halloween ends, but we're not going to get into that. So with these two, it's just one of those that are very well known, people are already singing them. It's just kind of re-articulate the fact that Christmas is indeed here. I
love that. So, with with your flute and everything. How long have you been playing flute?
So I've been playing flute since 6th grade. So I think that's 7 or 8 years at this point, I think. So it's been a very long time. We're coming up on playing it for over half of my life. So it's something that's very ingrained into what I do.
I love that. So with flute, how often do you practice?
So I'll practice every single day for depending on the day, depending on what I have coming up. Typically for an hour at least, sometimes more. Sometimes that hour will be split up. For music majors, we also have to take piano classes. So sometimes it'll be split up between piano. I'll also occasionally play alto flute. So it really just depends on what I have going on at the moment. But typically no less than an hour every day. Unless I have a performance that day, in which case I'll just run through things because I don't want to wear myself out or anything like that.
So you mentioned alto flute. What is the difference between a regular flute and an alto flute?
So an alto flute, first of all, this one is keyed in C, which means that the notes that you would typically hear don't have to be transposed, which means that the notes don't change at all. If it's in the key of C, which is what this is, whenever I play a note, if I play C on this, it's a C concert pitch, which that means is that if you went over piano and played that same C, that's the C that you're hearing on this instrument. So alto flute is, first of all, very larger than this. If I was playing it, I'd be holding it like all the way out here. It's also very larger, has a lot more mellow sound. It's a lot lower as well. It's keyed in G, so everything is going to be different notes than if you were to play it on this instrument. So if I were to play a D on this, and I were to play a D on the alto flute, the D I play on the alto flute is going to actually sound like an A on this instrument.
Okay.
So that's kind of the difference in the things you get into whenever you start talking about transpositions.
Okay, well, so transposition, what is that?
So depending on so a bunch of different instruments are made differently. So depending on the size of them or how they're made, they'll have the different notes will sound differently. So a French horn is going to be, their A is going to be different than a flute's A. It's going to be different from a trumpet's A.
Okay.
So it can get kind of confusing, but they're all consistent once you get into them. So after that, you're pretty much sailing smoothly.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today, and thank you to everyone who's watching. We hope you have a spectacular winter holiday, and thanks for catching up with Studio 22.